There's my microphone. There we go. Everything's unmuted. We're all ready to go. Hi, everybody. It is, for you in the East Coast, Tuesday, October 25th, 2022. For those of you in the other time zones, it's still October 24th, 2022. Welcome to the Anything Goes Vodcast. This is the show where we just talk about anything and everything that comes to our mind, save for politics. That is taboo on this show. Anything else is fair play. Now, MahkyPinz could not be here tonight. He could not join us for our normal show. But now, come on now, OBS. Not on Johnny's first night. Not on Johnny's first... I have a little indicator that's telling me it's in the red. Get up there. Attaboy. Maybe if I stop this, because that's probably what's causing it. Pretzel rocks. There we go. Technical problems. Anyway, with me on this special evening, to my immediate... Well, now my camera's... I just noticed my camera's flipped again. Come on. Attaboy. Because I was pointing the right direction, but my darn thing was flipped. On my immediate right, we have a special guest host with us, and I couldn't be happier to have him aboard with us tonight. He is the host of the Dudes Belts Wrestling Chatcast. He is the leader of Team Joe. He is, as I like to call him, my Boston brother. He is the myth, the man, the legend, the one and only Johnny Deathdrop.
How's it going, everybody?
Well, Johnny, it is good to have you tonight. This is a little bit strange to have you on, but it is exciting to have you on.
Good to be here.
Because last night, while I was streaming, doing the casino thing, you came to me and asked if you wanted to pinch hit. I was more than happy to do this. Not a lot of people know this, but you were actually my first choice to do this show with. Because I had a short list of candidates to co-host this show with. You, Mahky, Danger Dean, and Yaden. I knew with your schedule, I know you couldn't do it full time. Because your schedule is just like crazy. Danger Dean has...
Yeah, I don't really have a lot of time to myself nowadays.
Danger Dean has dad stuff and Prez stuff with Rocky Mountain Pro. Yaden's busy enough as it is, so I had to pick Mahky, and he was on board to do it. But I am happy to have you here as a guest host for the week, and man, it is so surreal to have you on my channel. This is actually his debut on my channel, not just on the podcast, but on this channel. So make him feel welcome. Make him feel welcome. He is such a great individual.
I try to be, at least.
You try. Well, you try well. Thank you for the shout out for him, Sin. Follow him at twitch.tv/JohnnyDeathdrop. Saturday nights are where it's at. Let's get started as I take my first drink of the evening.
What you drinking?
Agua. Aquafina.
Attaboy.
Yeah, there we go. All
I'm
right.
just getting back home from work, so I got the sugar-free Monster going right now. I'm finishing that up, and then I got some agua myself.
Speaking of sugar-free, I do have a backup just in case. I got a whole 2-liter. Whole 2-liter of Pepsi. So I got that.
That's
just
too much. That's too much for me.
I only drink it a little bit. What y'all drinking? Well, we just told you. Water, Monster, Pepsi. All right, let's get started with the first topic. We were going to talk about the origins of how the Dudes and Belts show got started, but I think that already got discussed on past shows. So,
at least 5 or 6 times throughout the course of our existence.
So we're going to start off with a question for Johnny. What was your... I know I probably asked this on a past show, but for those in the chat, what was your first memory as a wrestling fan? Being a wrestling podcast host, what was your first memory as a wrestling fan?
First memory. In real life or just on TV?
In real life.
I think my first actual memory was getting to meet Killer Kowalski.
Oh, dang.
When he was at the Armory in the farthest northern town before you hit New Hampshire. They used to run indie shows over there at the Armory, and Killer Kowalski owned it. And my mom took me one Saturday night, and you want to talk about a larger than life individual. Seeing that guy up close is awe-inspiring and scary at the same time because he had the hands that was bigger than your head. So I say that's probably one of the first and more fonding memories of being a wrestling fan, getting into the business.
Well, for me, being a kid back in the 90s, because I was about 3 or 4 years old when I first got into wrestling, my first memory was watching, I think it was I think it was either 96, 97. I was very young, didn't know what wrestling was at the time. But it was when the NWO first formed. It was when the NWO first formed in WCW. That was just like one of the big moments for me. Fun fact, I was a WCW fan before I became a WWE fan. So
There's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. So my first memories were of WCW, watching like the NWO form, watching, because we didn't have cable at the time. We would watch like the Saturday night, I don't remember what the show is called, but it was a Saturday afternoon show. I used to watch that religiously over the weekends. So that was my first memory. And then I really don't recall any other early memories other than that. But all I can remember was I was a big WCW fan right at the outset.
Early WCW or 97, 98, 99 WCW?
Around 97, 98, 99, because I was about 2 or 3 years old when I really started getting into it. Mr. Fourth Row says what you were talking about, that's how he felt meeting Brock Lesnar. Big hands. So
I'd like to meet that man in person. He doesn't intimidate me at all.
no, especially the Farmer Brock persona. He wouldn't intimidate me at all.
That's why.
There you go. Take another drink real quick. So for those who don't know, Johnny's over there doing something. For those who don't know, Johnny hosts a wrestling podcast. Most of you are aware of this already. He hosts Dudes and Belts every Sunday night. He has a couple of post shows for RMP, Reignited and Recharged. I got to ask you, in the nearly 3 years that you've done Dudes and Belts, because we're getting very close to the 3-year anniversary of the show, what's been
I think the middle of January, I believe, is our 3-year coming up.
That's great. Can't wait for that to happen. Now, in the almost 3 years that you've been doing this, what's been your favorite show thus far? Your favorite, like your funniest show, or something that sticks out in your head?
Well, I think everybody knows, and I think we touched on this last night during our special Dudes and Belts after hour portion, because it was a 2.5 hour portion. Top 10s were very, very rough.
Oh boy. Oh yes, I remember
when we
those.
Went through that series. There was a lot of funny moments, don't get me wrong, but that's probably one of our lower points in our young careers here in the business.
Yes. I've been a follower. I've been a supporter of the show since day one, and I can attest those top 10s were oof.
I think our best moment or our best show thus far, in my opinion at least, and I'm sure the dudes have other opinions as well. I think I'm gonna have to go with the Lilith and Reagan interview. That has been one of our top ones.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
I know it's our top viewed one on our YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just a lot of good stuff that happened during that show, especially towards the end with Triple I and Reagan and that interaction. That was funny.
That was. I got the chance to see that, and man alive. Triple. I gotta tell you something. Triple I makes everything. I mean, I know he can be a bit of a silly Billy on the show, but that's what makes it fun when he comes on and just goes
Oh,
completely aloof.
he is entirely a pain in the ass. That's why he's only on for an hour every week.
Well, I
Let's
always
just be honest here.
yes, I always refer to him as Kramer with from Seinfeld with the Boston accent and a shrill singing voice. If you were there last night when he did his introduction, you know why.
And
You
he
know
didn't even do it right. You can tell that he's been out of practice because he kicked his
yes.
microphone the entire time.
Jeez. He'll figure it out. Just give him time. He'll figure it out. My favorite episode, I should say my favorite episodes, because there were two
Go
of
ahead
them.
and chat too.
Yeah. My
Go ahead and
favorite.
chat too. Chat. What's your favorite episode of Dudes
Yeah,
and
what's
Belts
your
so far?
favorite chat? If you have a favorite episode of Dudes and Belts, drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. We'll talk about it. My favorite episodes, because I have two of them, and the reason for that is because they both featured the same guests, were when you guys interviewed the Three Ring Circus on the show.
That was like 1A and almost 2 for me as well.
Yeah,
Which one? The first one or the second one?
both of them actually. But especially the first one, when when Mr. Happy and Monster 9 introduced their um thing. I don't want to the gender reveal thing for the what was it, the chicken?
Oh, that was during a recharge show.
Oh, that was on oh, I thought that was on the main show.
No, Coastal being as anal as he is, and when he pays attention to a match, he noticed Bud Bellflower choking the chicken off a hot dog. And so that's when he made the reference on recharge. And I think Titus was still with us at that point.
Oh God. Choking the chicken.
That's what it showed on the show. And he was being honest about it. He's telling it like he sees it.
Well, there you go. I think that was
By the way, folks, it was a rubber chicken on a horse, the little horse on a stick.
Yeah.
Toy.
Yeah, that hold.
Don't get confused with the other dirty thing. That we're just going by what we actually saw that was on the toy, which was a rubber chicken, and Bud was holding the chicken, and that's how that happened.
Sin says in the chat, in recent history, the Damon Balaam interview before Milestone. That was
intense.
Yeah, that
was an intense show.
I was nervous when those two came on because I was like, okay, you've lost the belts. You didn't listen to Danger Dean. Just cooperate for once. They did for the most part, and then I think Damon said something, and then Balaam was just like, screw this, I'm out. What, did that how it go, or? I vaguely remember it.
Oh, I'm trying to think. Damon said something to Balaam, talking about how Balaam was upset about the whole friendship situation. And then Damon basically told him, you better not bring that to the ring next week. And then that's when Balaam was like, you son of a bitch, and then just hung up and left.
Yeah, that was probably... There have been some funny moments on the show. There have been some intense moments, like with you and the West Texas Legacy, and then Damon completely hijacking a recharge.
Who cares about those guys?
Right. But...
Who cares about those guys?
Out of all the intense moments that you've had on the show, that was probably the most intense one that you've had in nearly 3 years. So...
Oh, that's right up there when Damon hacked recharge that one night.
That's
too,
right.
And called me out.
That's right, and that all led to that 6-man tag with you and I forgot who your partners were going up against the link. I forgot who your partners were. Bruce
Wayans and Atiba, man.
Oh,
Chopper City.
See, I have the alibi because that night when you guys were doing Shocktober, I was trick or treating. It's awful timing. Awful timing. I know.
I do have the entire match somewhere. I have it saved on my desktop. We'll play it on stream one of these nights soon.
Yeah. We'll see how you did. I got to tell you something. For someone who hadn't, to the best of my knowledge, hadn't been in the ring prior to that, you did it, because I had watched it a while back after the fact. You did a freaking awesome job, despite you losing that match. You did a freaking awesome job. I gotta applaud you for that.
I did what I could with the opportunity that was given.
And you did
I took
well.
advantage of it.
You did well. I mean, if you weren't hosting, Dudes and Belts, I'd probably be seeing you in the ring right now, or maybe
Honestly,
both.
you are not the first one that has said that.
Really?
There was a few people that are RMP talent that has said that as well.
Well, obviously, I agree with their sentiment, because you were. If I didn't know any better, I could have sworn that you were like training for at least a year. You were that good.
I went through training. I went through a crash course when I was down there.
Wow.
I was doing a lot better than what people would anticipate somebody who's never done it before actually getting there and doing what I did.
Speaking of dudes and getting in the ring, last year when you guys went to Milestone for the first time, you guys were in the Colorado Cup. What was that?
I wasn't.
Well, you weren't.
I was calling it, actually.
You weren't, but the others were. What was it like seeing your friends in there just going at it?
Funniest day of my life. I was sitting at the table. I was calling the match with Titus and KD. It was a great experience. I saw Marky get dumped right in front of me.
Aww.
He deserved it, and he'll be the first one to admit it. He deserved everything he got because he did run his mouth.
He ran his mouth and wound up getting.
And technically, Coastal did to an extent too, but on the Wake side of things, of course.
Yes, because this was during his whole Wake ass kissing period. Sorry to say that word, but I mean that's how it was.
He is still in rehab. The Wake sometimes comes out of him from time to time. We're trying to get him 100% back on board.
I've tried taking his stash of Wake serum. So far, it's worked, but I don't know if it has completely worked.
But yeah, no, that whole interaction with him in the three-ring circus and then Simbodi coming out. I don't care what he says. I don't care what anybody else thinks. There was definitely a smell in the back after that interaction. So something happened down there in his underwear region. So
I won't press that on. I will not press that any further. That must have been something. Oh boy, Mr. Fourth Row makes a good point. People can purchase Shocktober from last year on Fight TV. I believe that's on the Rocky Mountain Pros page. Anyway, going into changing gears a little bit. You're a Harley rider. You are an avid Harley rider. You have shown that. You've posted pics of your baby on Instagram.
Yep.
I gotta ask, what was your first motorcycle? What was the first motorcycle you owned? If you can go back into your head and remember.
Oh, I can remember it like it was yesterday. I got my license, and the first bike that I ever got was a '94 Yamaha Virago. Smallest little cruiser bike you'll ever see. But I got my license towards the end of that riding season. So I just needed something to just practice on and just get used to it. And that thing lasted maybe a month and a half before the carburetors were going.
Whoops.
And,
wow.
Well, it only cost me $500 and I just needed it for like a month.
Yeah, it's just a dent. $500, just a dent.
But yeah, from there I stayed in the Japanese market, and I got a Kawasaki Vulcan, which is another type of cruiser. kind of making a step up. I went from a 535 to a 900cc, a little bit more power, a little bit more torque. And I had that for a couple of years. And then after that is when I got the bike that you see on Instagram. So 2020 Road King. I doubled the horsepower and some. I'm currently riding over 1800 cc's, and the thing is a beast, and I love it. It's got an extra gear too, so it's a 6-gear manual. And boy, there is nothing better than a smooth ride on that thing.
I can only imagine, because I'm just picturing myself on the back, sitting on that thing, riding it down the streets.
If you ever come up to Boston, I'll bring it down during the summer, and you'll sit on it.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. Because I've never ridden on a motorcycle before, but I have ridden on like a little moped.
Oh, it's nowhere close.
Yeah, nowhere. I know it's nowhere close, but it was kind of to someone who was like maybe 12 years younger. I'm 27 now, so I was probably 15 years old when I went on it. It was a thrill ride. I've never gone on a motorcycle because my mom is freaking scared to death that I will crash and kill myself, which is completely understandable, which, motorcycle accidents happen every year. There's no getting around it. But it would be
nice. I had one about 2 years ago.
Oh,
as a matter of fact.
Jesus Christ. Hope it wasn't bad.
No, it was on a charity ride. And I can talk about this story. I was on a Rolling Thunder. I was on a Rolling Thunder ride. It's a support MC group. A little bit of backstory. My father was a former MC member of the Hells Angels at one point. And I started doing a lot of charity rides with him once I started my license and all that stuff. And we were on this charity ride with a Rolling Thunder. And one of the guys, I was on the right side. Typically, when you ride motorcycles, for all you guys that don't know, a lot of us ride staggered in case we have to maneuver. Put my hands up here so you can see. We ride staggered so that in case we have to avoid something, the people on the right can move over and they have space to kind of like maneuver and stuff like that. So that's why we always ride staggered. We were going on a turn, and one of the Rolling Thunder guys was trying to avoid roadkill, but didn't realize that he was speeding up and he was getting right next to me, and he basically pushed me off the road, and I dumped my bike, and I hit the edge of the road, and then went off to the grass. It wasn't a major one. I was only going like 25 or 30 miles an hour at the time. But I have a scar on my elbow. Still, it's been a couple years, and it took a big chunk of my skin off, and you can see where you could have actually saw where my elbow was, the bone.
Jeez. Well, I'm glad you got away with just that. That could have been an awful lot worse. I'm not trying to downplay it at all, but I'm like, you got really lucky.
Oh, I did. But the whole thing about that is with a lot of people, once that happens, even the smallest of things happens to any riders, probably about 75% of them don't ever ride again. Just because of the fear that they got away with life and death and they don't want to attempt it again.
That'd probably be me, because even when something small happens, because we had a house fire about 17 years ago. And ever since then, I've just been completely scared of fire. I don't care what it was. So, I mean, it's not completely related to motorcycle accidents, but that I can completely get what you're saying when it comes to...
It's the same mindset.
Yeah, same mindset. Same mindset. But you're one of the tough ones, Johnny, and I applaud you for getting away from an accident like that 99% unharmed. Because that could have been an awful lot worse.
It's in my blood. Unfortunately, I'm stubborn just like my father and everybody else before me.
You say stubborn, I say brave. So, we have different mindsets. Now, changing subjects there. Let's talk about the baseball the World Series is coming up pretty soon. We found out which two teams are going to make it, which two teams have made it. We have the Philadelphia Phillies going up against the Houston Astros. So my big question is, Johnny, who you got to take it all?
Phillies in 5, hopefully.
Phillies in 5. You're betting bold on the Phillies, huh?
Oh, yeah. Not a fan of the Astros. Never will be.
I would have to agree with you on the Phillies, but I'd say Phillies in 6. Because I think the Astros are going to give the Phillies a run for their money, but the Phillies are still going to pull it out. I don't care what you say. The Phillies are going to pull it out. Phillies in 6. If you guys in the chat, what do you think? Who do you think's going to take it all? Oh, let's see what Mr. Fourth Row posted. He says he's been in 2 bicycle accidents caused by others. One caused me to turn into a bush. I was okay after that one. The other one was a person cut in front of me, caused me to crash, and my hand and wrist was swollen for 2 weeks. Jesus Christ, Mr. Fourth Row.
Anything on 2 wheels is dangerous.
Yeah.
I'm a believer in that.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Oh, Jen just joined us. Hi, Jen. It's the
Hi, Jen.
It's the Dylan and Deathdrop show tonight, apparently. But yeah, I got the Phillies in 5 or 6. You said Phillies in 5. I said Phillies in 6. Sometimes I get confused.
Yes.
Sometimes I get confused on the show, as you may well know.
The Astros need a good ass whooping.
I'm just lucky I didn't get an ass whooping from the dudes that one night, because when we did Millionaire, we had a question because you know when Johnny does Team Joe, I do come in with Millionaire. There was a question about a Boston town, and one of the answers was Worcester. I pronounced it as Worcestershire.
Worcester.
As Worcester. I pronounced it as Worcester because Worcestershire sauce, or however you want to pronounce it. And I was like, oh God, Johnny's going to show this to the dudes. I am going to get chewed out.
No. No, but it's pronounced Worcester.
Worcester, yes.
Worcester.
Worcester. I'll get it right.
Work on the accents. Next time I go down to RMP, I'll have a specific class just for Boston accents.
I've been learning the Boston, language, wicked pissa and stuff like that. That comes from, listening to your show for almost 3 years. Fourth Row says he's pulling for the Phillies because of former Cub Schwarber. And I am a Cubs fan too, so that is partially why I'm rooting for them as well.
Does he have a ring already, Fourth Row?
Well, I think so. I don't know, but Mr. Fourth Row can probably check. He's one of our fact checkers. Well, I say one of our fact checkers because Lucas, when he pops on with stuff, he's 20. Yep, he said 2016.
And the Cubs won. Okay.
Cubs won it in 2016, and we touched this on the show a couple weeks ago with Mahky. I was emotional when that happened, when the Cubs won, because that was 100.
Everybody was.
It's 108 years since they last done it, and finally broke that Billy Goats curse, and that was a feeling that I will never forget. Just like the time I went to, and we've already touched upon this before, but my first, because we're switching subjects, but this is literally anything goes. Let's get into a topic that you and I are very, very, passionate about, and well, at least I think you're still passionate about it, bowling. Because we've mentioned on the show before, and at least on your show, you and the guys met each other through candlepin bowling. You,
Correct.
As a matter of fact, if my memory serves me correctly from what I've been told, you are a world champion candlepin bowler. Is that true or is that not true?
That is correct.
See? He's a jack of all trades. He's a podcaster, a part-time wrestler, and a world champion candlepin bowler.
Don't classify me as a part-time wrestler. I have not earned that title yet, sir. Don't be throwing words in my mouth.
I'm just hyping you up, Johnny. That's what I do. That's what I do.
I know.
But yeah, all of the dudes, Johnny and the guys, Triple I, Coastal, Mahky, and Sunday, they all met through Candlepin Bowling, and to this day, most of the guys, well, I would say all the guys still do it because they do it on Friday nights, but you don't do it as often as you do. I
took a 3-year hiatus.
That's right, because you, I think I can say this on the show because I think you've mentioned this before on your streams. You work for the military, correct?
Yes, I do. I work for a company that supplies the military with all of their parts.
Mm-hmm. I didn't want to. I wanted to make sure because you have mentioned it at least once on your stream, so I didn't want to put you in the hot seat there, so to speak.
No, it's accurate.
Mr. Fourth Row has a question. Do people get their own candlepin balls like in 10-pin?
I don't have them in there with me, but yes, we do have our own balls.
Oh, there you go.
I did have them in here. I actually had my bag in here yesterday, but I left it in the car, so.
Oops.
But yes, we do have our own balls, not pins, though.
Awesome. I need to get down there because I was talking with Mahky. I told him I would love to come down to Riverwalk. That's his bowling alley for those who don't know. I would love to have a Dudes and Belts hangout and play a few frames with yours. Fourth Rose asks, what color is your ball?
I have currently 4 different sets, ranging from black and yellow to blue and white to black and orange, and then all pink.
Okay, then.
Yes, I added pink in there.
Hey, like Bret Hart says, real men wear pink. Okay?
Damn right.
There
Except
you go.
I throw my pink balls. That's the difference.
Yeah. Most men have blue balls. You have pink balls. I like it. I like it. Don't get your head out of the gutter, folks. We're trying to keep this somewhat G-rated or something. He says Mr. Fourth Row says his 10-pin ball is purple. Hey, that's a good color too.
Was actually thinking about getting a 10-pin ball soon.
Oh.
Been pondering my mind a little bit.
Jen asks, do you have your own bowling shoes though?
I do. I actually have 2 pairs of those, as a matter of fact. One's a backup pair. They're both Dexters. The ones that I wear or would be wearing would be SST8s, and my old ones are SST6s. I think I had one cobbled, as a matter of fact, so I have like a special adjustment to my old pair and stuff like that. So yes, I do have a couple pairs of my own shoes as well. I'm not paying the extra $4 for shoes.
Atta boy, Johnny. Now, myself, I don't have my own ball or my own shoes or any of that because I only went bowling one time. I touched upon this a few times when I was in the chat for Dudes, but the only time I went bowling was 2 years ago. This was before my 25th birthday, which was a landmark birthday for me. We went on a special trip to Ohio, which was the first time, number 1, I had ever been bowling. Number 2, I had ever been out of state, because that was the first time I had ever left West Virginia to go someplace else. We had a wonderful time. This was right before the pandemic hit, because January 21st is my birthday. So my next birthday is in about 3 months. But it was a wonderful time. It was something I'll never forget. I still have the picture somewhere of and the video of me throwing my first ball, which wound up going in the dang gutter. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But it was such a magical time, and I hope I get to do it again.
Oh, I'm sure you will.
Mr. Fourth Row says that's $4 that can go towards beer, right?
See, Fourth Row understands.
Attaboy.
Understands the way a bowler thinks. Why spend $4 extra on rental shoes when you can take that $4 and go get yourself a PBR or a Bud Light or something?
There you go. See, Mr.
But I
Fourth.
get, but I guarantee you, depending on where you are, which is probably about 95% of the country, a beer is worth more than $4 at this point.
You're probably right.
So,
Hey. Oh boy. But yeah, that's something I hope I get to do again. It was a blast. I didn't get a really high score. I threw more gutters than I threw strikes. I really didn't throw any strikes at all. But the main thing was I had fun, and that's the beauty of it. I got to have fun. I got to knock another item off the old bucket list.
I might actually have a picture of me with the world title, as a matter of fact, in here. Give me 2 seconds.
All right. That's why I said towards and not A. There you... Johnny's over there trying to search for a picture. Here he comes. Right. All right, let's see this.
All right. I don't know how good it's going to show to the camera.
Well, we'll be the judge of that. I'm going to see if I can... Well, I don't know if... I can't... I won't be able to zoom your thing up. But actually, let me go ahead and do something real quick, if I may. Let me go to here. Okay, Discord's on here. Let me put window capture in place. There you go. Your full screen. Go ahead. Oh, wait. Wait, is it? Oh, wait. No, there you... Hold on. Why is that? Oh, shoot. Shoot, I forgot. I forgot to make it visible. Duh. I'll be all right. The charm of live streaming, everybody. There we are. Sans the hat. Oh, wow. Yeah, that is something that you'll never ever forget. Whoops, now I need to fix that. Now I need to fix the darn window over here. Once again, the charm of live streaming. Let's fix that real quick. Oh, wait, no, I had to click you. There we go. All right, you're good. You're good. Oh dear. We'll figure this thing out one of these days.
Yeah, you're good.
But that's awesome. You know, the things you learn about your friends around here. You know, you got someone who you relate to, because as I mentioned on social media when I kind of shone the spotlight on everybody, you and I have the same kind of similar appearances, even though my hair is a little bit longer. You have far more ink on your body, but we share similar traits as far as personal traits. We're both on the is it okay if I say this on the air, or do we just leave it at that? Because I don't want to do it unless it's okay with you.
No, you can if you want.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, even though this is my show, you're the guest, and I don't want to do
One time only. One time only.
All right, one time only. We're both on the autism spectrum, and Johnny told me this about a few months ago. I was shocked, because I was like, because I've already, considered him as a brother before, but knowing that that really kind of solidified it. And I always say, brothers don't have to be, blood. They, brothers come in all shapes and sizes. I always say this every time I'm in one of your streams, be it, Team Joe, one of your solo streams, Dudes and Belts, whatever. I am always honored to be a part of the Deathdrop army for the reason that, we kind of have, we're kind of like twin brothers, if you think about it. I'm trying not to get too sappy around here, but but I always love it because, you've been so welcoming to me in your community, and the fact that I got to know a different side of you that night, that was magical and really solidified our friendship.
I just noticed that you were having a hard time that night.
Yeah.
I could understand it because of what I go through on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And I just kind of saw it through the walls right away, so that's why I intervened and I stepped in and tried to get you on the right track and not having to worry so much about mistakes and all that stuff.
Yeah, I always worry if I make a mistake, even one small thing to me is like the end of the world. I've been trying to kind of say, trying to knock it off, I've gone to therapy, I've taken antidepressants, still taking antidepressants. It's no secret or anything like that. My life's an open book. But it's hard. As someone with autism, and I don't touch upon this subject a lot, social media, my stream, or anything like that, but when you're autistic, when you're on the spectrum like we are, sometimes things can be really, really difficult to comprehend. If you make even, like for me, if I make even one mistake, I'm gonna be like kicking myself in the head for the rest of the day about it. And I'm sure you felt the same way, Johnny.
I do it all the time. It's just that people don't see it.
Yeah, people don't see it here either, because I try to put that in the back of my mind. Sometimes I'll have mood swings that kind of make me want to stop streaming stuff. I've had that happen a couple times middle of the stream where I'm like a deer in the headlights. My mood's just swung and I'm just like, screw it, I'm sure you've at least once or twice felt the same way. I could be wrong, but
I go through everything like that every day. We're built on a routine. And if a routine is off even the slightest, that's when our heads turn.
Yeah, that's when the anxiety starts going through the roof. Just like with me. I as I mentioned during my, my intros, when someone raids me, I suffer from stress, anxiety, depression, and this is going to be kind of tough to talk about. I know this is getting kind of dark, Johnny.
I wouldn't say dark. I'd probably call it, to be honest with you, more informative than dark.
Yeah. So
the people who don't really have an actual that doesn't see through the eyes that maybe me and you see through our eyes on a daily basis. It's actually kind of more informative than more dark.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
But if you'll bear with me here for a second, because I'm sure I know at least once or twice you felt the same way. I may be completely wrong about it, but I'm gonna get a little dark here. It might get a little dark, but with the stress, with the anxiety, with the depression, with...
You don't have to say anything you don't want to say. You know that, right, Honor?
Yeah.
If you don't feel comfortable saying it, you don't have to say it.
Yeah, true, but I might as well get it off my chest, because I feel like...
Go ahead, the floor is yours then.
I feel like if people and you know about this, you probably don't know about this, but while we're on
probably know about it once you talk about it.
Well,
because I'm sure it's something that I've gone through.
All right, so many of you don't know this because Johnny knows, a lot of you in the chat know, a lot of my followers know that, you see me in the chat, you see me here. I'm a happy, cheery, go get 'em attitude kind of guy. I'm a fun-loving guy who comes in, hosts game shows, hosts trivia with the dudes, hosts Millionaire with Team Joe. Behind all that, I have had moments in my life where I've really thought about ending it all, so to speak. I'm going to put it as lightly as I can, because I don't want to get kicked off of Twitch, but I just want to get it out there. Okay.
You wouldn't get kicked off of Twitch. That's not TOS.
Okay. Good.
Issues.
Good. But I just wanted to get this out there as, someone who's been through it. There have been times in my life I have been abused by my father several times. Actually, most of my life. I shouldn't say several times. I've been abused by my adoptive father most of my life. I have felt worthless. I felt useless. I felt hopeless, and I felt helpless. And as a result of that, there have been times where I've actually wanted to take my own life. I've actually considered committing suicide. And honestly, and I always say this, but this is the God honest truth. When I say this, I mean this. Everybody who has been supportive of me, all of my followers here on Twitch, all of the RMP friends who I hang out with and talk to, Johnny over here who has kind of, knows mostly how I feel because he's been through it. Everybody who has been supportive of me and every one of my friends, if not for them and also for my family, I probably would have taken my life about 10 years ago. Because honestly, I've really felt like I didn't belong. When my adoptive father, who wound up being abusive late in the, during our relationship, when he said, well, before he left, he said, "You're never going to make it in this world because you're nothing but a scumbag." That really made me feel like I was worthless. I was about ready to kill myself then. I've been down that road of having suicidal thoughts many times before. But the reason why I'm still here today, and the reason why I continue to constantly sound like a broken record every time I say, I've got the bestest friends in the world, I couldn't thank you enough, blah, 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 is because they've kept me on the straight path. They have done so much for me. They have been so welcoming to me. They have essentially taken me under their wing. And honestly, if not for you guys, I probably wouldn't be here today. What I'm trying to get, I'm sorry guys, I'm trying not to cry here, but what I'm getting at is, if you have any thoughts of suicide whatsoever, go talk to someone. Talk to a friend, talk to a family member. Just talk to someone, get some help. If you're really, really considering suicide, please. Hold on just a second, because there it goes. But anyway, as I was saying, if you're seriously thinking about suicide, please call the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. It will save you an awful lot of grief. And that's all I wanted to get out was, because I always say I have the best friends in the world. Nobody knows why I sound like a broken record. This is the reason why. Because you guys have kept me on a straight path for a very long time. And I couldn't be more grateful. I just thought I'd get it out there right here, right now. I've held it in for a long time. Um, but it's about time I open the book wide open.
Well, I will say, you're a very brave man to do that. Not a lot of people would do that.
I know I
There's an
use
awful lot of guts to get on here and say what you said.
yeah.
So,
I've kept it in me for the longest time. I've kept it in me for about 10 years. I'm sorry, guys. I usually don't get emotional on this show, but I'm
all
sorry.
right, take your time.
But I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, everybody in chat. Thank you all for keeping me on the straight path for as long as you have, because without you, I probably wouldn't be here today. You guys have my undying love.
I'll say this, though. Going back to your abusive adopted father for a second. There's only a couple words that I have to say about your adopted father, Hunter. And I'm going to break the rated G portion of this stream. Fuck that guy. Because you're doing more than you could probably ever dream about doing. Look at what you're doing right now. For fuck's sake, you're running your own vodcast live in front of the RMP faithful. You're an inspiring game show host, and you do a pretty good job, and everything goes according to plan. Fuck him. You're 10 times better of a man than he ever was. And you should be proud of what you've accomplished so far.
Thank you, Johnny. It's much appreciated coming from someone like you, who I consider a brother and a friend.
There's no need for that much negativity in your life. Just keep on going.
Thank you, and thank you, everybody. I know it got a little tense. I know it got a little serious there, but I had to get it out. Only a few select people had known about this until tonight. You knew, Mahky knew. I think I told Dean and Hoth, but other than that, I haven't told a lot of. Yeah, I've told Yaten, but up until tonight, I haven't really told anybody my side of the story, and I think that was a good way to kind of finally get it off my chest after so long. And, you know, having this talk about autism and everything, and how it affected our lives, I think that kind of opened the floodgates. If you think about it. Man.
Well, then let's get back up beat.
Let's get back on beat. All right.
Back up beat.
Let's do it. All right. Let's get back to the fun stuff. You know what? Since we haven't really done it, you know what? I think we should kind of have a little throwback. Here. Where's my? I gotta get something here. Give me just a second, if you would, please. Give me just a second. I gotta go grab something. Hold on. We'll get that here in a second. Let me just. Yes, I know. Quadzilla. You don't have to remind me.
I wasn't going to say anything.
There we go. Just had to grab something. Before we get to that, Mr. Fourth Row asks Halloween plans. I will be taking a Halloween walk in a local town, and I will be dressed in my Ghostbusters costume. And as a matter of fact, I have the costume. All ready to go. I have the proton pack over there. I'm trying to keep it inflated because it's an inflatable proton pack. But we're going to be taking a nice Halloween walk. There's some houses, decorated and trick-or-treating and stuff. You got any Halloween plans, Johnny?
What day is that again?
Next week. Next Monday.
Next Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, today's the 25th. It's Tuesday over here.
So, technically, 6 days from now.
Monday I will be working.
You'll be doing your work. Well,
Second shift life, man.
second shift life. Well,
Disney life.
that's how it goes, I guess. Now, what I mentioned is with Throwback, on Team Joe. By the way, Team Joe will be back. They're just, a couple of the members.
There's
of
a
Team...
lot, and I will speak on behalf of Team Joe because you guys have designated me the leader of this fine faction.
Well, you're the J. J is first in Joe, so it makes sense.
There's just been a lot of life stuff going on.
Right.
With Owen having his first child.
Yay.
And Dean spending a lot of time with his daughter.
Yes.
And there's no need to take that away from both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to continue on with life stuff. And I actually am going to be sending a text message to them probably within the next day or two. And trying to leave a date wide open.
All right.
Whenever they want to do it again. It's not going to be like it used to be. It's not going to be like an every Saturday thing. It's probably going to be like a once every month, maybe 2-month thing, just because of life, and it's completely understandable. I mean,
yeah,
Dean's with his daughter now all the time, which is good, and Owen is having his first child. So again, completely understandable. Echo will be joining me more often than not on Saturdays, along with Zamore. You've seen both of them before, quite a bit, over the past few weeks. That's probably going to continue. I will say you will probably see White Rabbit here or there, or now Rhea Rabbit, I believe, very soon. I think she changed her name on Twitter, so
yeah.
You'll probably be seeing her off and on as well, and we're probably going to have some type of rotation on Saturdays.
All right.
I'm currently going through I'm trying to, just because of all the Dudes and Belts, and there's a lot that's still coming down the pipeline in terms of the Dudes and Belts. Not so much Rocky Mountain, because they just had their last pay-per-view, and they're kind of winding down their 2022. But we still have one big show for Rocky Mountain Pro planned for the Dudes and Belts, and that's the Peak Awards this year.
Oh, yeah, the Peak Awards, which I'm excited about.
And we're trying to do something a little bit more special this year, and of course, details to follow. But I've been talking with a couple of the guys very heavily about what we're going to be doing. Obviously, I'm not ready to unveil anything or reveal any plans or nominations or anything like that. That probably won't happen until the end of November, if I had to take a guess. But as far as like my own personal channel and stuff like that, what I think we're going to be doing in the future is, if I end up streaming, and I'm not going to make a schedule during the week, just because we have Tuesdays and Thursdays already set for Recharge and Reignited. Plus, once we get back to editing the shows and all that stuff starting next week, I'm not going to have a lot of time to just go out and just go live like I used to. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to be using the gaming YouTube channel quite a bit.
Okay.
For weekday streams, mainly. And
Okay.
It's probably going to start this Friday, because this Friday the new COD releases. And I've said this a million times on my stream that I have always been a COD guy through and through. I know we've been doing Overwatch and Destiny, and that's probably what we're going to be playing still. But I'll probably stream COD on opening day and on YouTube. And then Saturdays will be the day on Twitch, where everybody can be here on a Saturday night with Echo, Zamore, White Rabbit. We had Gemini for a little bit last Saturday as well.
That was fun.
Yeah, so we're gonna try and get somewhat of a rotation. It won't be Team Joe. It's not gonna be called Team Joe. It's just gonna be just a regular Saturday night get together.
Yeah.
You'll know when Team Joe gets back together, because I'm sure there'll be hype videos and me posting a a decent Twitter message explaining what's going to be happening on that specific Team Joe stream.
Yeah,
But Team Joe is not.
Oh, go ahead.
Team Joe is not dead by any means. I know I've gotten a few questions about that, and Team
Yeah.
Joe is nowhere close to being dead.
I always look forward. Oh, I'm sorry. I keep stepping over you. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. We're just letting the boys kind of enjoy life for a bit, for the most part, because there's been a lot of life stuff happening within Team Joe.
Yeah.
So
I always look forward to Team Joe because ever since you made me an honorary member of Team Joe, I've been coming in and hosting the game show stuff with you, and everybody seems to be enjoying that. Everybody seems to enjoy, when you guys get put on the spot answering trivia questions while inebriated.
well, that's also going to change as well.
Oh.
I think we've all realized that us being a little bit intoxicated was not helping our cause at all.
Yeah.
Put it that way. It made for really rough Sunday mornings.
Oh.
Not now. I'm still gonna have a drink or two, and Echo will probably have a drink or two here or there. But I mean, it's not gonna be like what it used to be, and I think it's for the better, honestly. Because
Yeah.
I kind of want Dean to remember a lot of what happened on a Team Joe stream.
Yes.
So, but he's also taken the liberty of actually cutting the alcohol altogether, which is fantastic for him. So, and he's
awesome.
doing really well. He's doing really well, and we want him to stay on that path as well.
Yes. Clean Dean. Now,
yeah, Team Joe will be back. No worries.
Team Joe
folks.
will be back, and I'll be back too, because Johnny's always open to let me when Team Joe comes on. He's always open to letting me do my thing, and to get the support of him, and have him support me doing this. That speaks volumes. That means a lot coming from someone who's essentially a bigger name than I am. I know I'm trying not to compare myself to Johnny in any way. I'm just saying that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
We're not there yet, Hunter. We still have a long way to go, but we're faces in RMP. I'm technically talent on RMP, technically.
Well, there you are.
Being a voice on an Ignition or a Charged or a pay-per-view or whatever. I'm like the closer from the bullpen at the commentary table. Whenever they need me there, that's where I'm at. So,
well, I'll tell you what. Since Team Joe normally has me, the Dudes and Belts used to have me. I know After Hours a little bit different. I know I haven't. I used to do the trivia segment on the show when you guys used to have the sub perk.
We're trying to incorporate. We're still kind of evolving a lot of stuff because you also got to remember the Sunday show really hasn't been back that long.
Right, it's only been back like 4 weeks.
Yeah. Ever since we've been back from Milestone, there wasn't a spot for the Wrestling Chatcast show just yet because Charge was airing on Sunday nights, and that was typically flagship show night.
Right.
So we're still kind of adapting and trying to get used to stuff. We're also on a different channel as well, so we also have to take that into consideration on top of everything else. So we're still working and trying to figure out a way to incorporate some type of subscriber perk for other Rocky Mountain Pro subscribers. We're still coming up with ideas and trying to figure out ways to get more of the faithful in the show. We're just having a hard time trying to find that one particular point because we're also battling whenever Triple I comes in. and well, the thing is, like at the beginning when we started recording the episodes, he's like the first 2 or 3 weeks, he'd be like in like really early, like during our recordings, and we're like, well, okay, we kind of have to incorporate him in this episode now. So, and then the past couple weeks, he's been relatively on time. So his times are fluctuating, and we also want to try and get get the Dudes and Belts After Hours segment with you guys in chat without being interrupted by any West Texas bullshit.
Ryan Justice.
So, or anybody for that matter. So we're just trying to find that happy medium. And then once we find it, I think we're gonna start incorporating you a little bit more with the trivia. We're gonna try.
I missed that. I miss doing that.
We're gonna try and push out a reason for viewers to subscribe to Rocky Mountain Pro. They need something. They need something, a perk.
Yes.
And that subscriber perk that we've always done has always somewhat been popular on my channel. We just need to incorporate it and find a way to promote it on RMP's channel. Yeah, Rocky Mountain Pro subscribers. So we're still at that phase where we're just still trying to figure everything out, really.
Yeah, the sub perk really is in my opinion, one of the best parts about the show. I mean, the Chatcast itself, I've been a supporter of it for a reason for almost 3 years, but the sub perk itself, everybody gets a chance to chime in. When I first started, I used to just come in and just ask questions to the dudes, about wrestling. Just, what's your favorite wrestler or blah, blah, blah. Then it was the week after, and I remember this because I remember it. It was the week after I showcased all of the virtual Dudes and Belts characters I created, which, by the way, they are up on community creation, so if you have the game, you can get it and play as yourself if you want to. That's when I started doing as a bit of a, just for shiggles, started doing a trivia segment, and my God, if it didn't take off like a friggin' rocket ship. I did not think it would get that popular. I was just doing some silly trivia game with the dudes. Everybody seemed to like it. Including yourself.
That was a very interesting take on a portion of the show where we needed something different.
Yeah.
So.
And I was always happy to provide. I still have no idea where I come up with my wrestling questions. All right, well, before I get to what I was going to do, because we were talking a lot about the Team Joe thing and everything, Mr. Fourth Row asks, since it's Halloween, what is your favorite Halloween candy? I'll go first because this one is 100% simple. Reese's freaking peanut butter cups. Don't you dare touch my Reese's peanut butter cups. I will karate chop you. Plain and simple.
God. You know what? Unpopular opinion. I'm going to go with candy corn.
I knew you were going to go there, Johnny. I knew you were going to go there. Hashtag burnt candy corn.
No, not the burnt candy corn.
No, not the burnt candy corn. No.
I'm not going to go there.
No.
There's something about the flavor of it. I don't know.
Well, that's kind of, for me, that's kind of like, go ahead.
Mr. Fourth Row also said, will the Peak Awards this year be anything like the Duties? Yeah, there was never a Duties. I don't know why the guys keep on saying that, because they couldn't come up with an actual name. They decided to call it the Duties based off of the Dudes and Belts. And it was funny. And they get a chuckle out of it. It was never called the Duties.
Dundies, he said. Dundies.
Oh, Dundies. I have a reading problem too, apparently, folks. Well, no, because I'm used to my chat being so freaking big over here, and I'm trying to go off of your chat, and it's small AF. So I'm trying to glance over real quick.
From the office.
Dundies.
From the
Dundies.
office.
No, it won't be anything like that.
No.
We got something special in mind, and we're actually going to be implementing a new award this year.
Can't wait to see what it is.
So.
All right.
You guys will know everything probably next month.
Can't wait to see what it's about. Can't wait to see the announcements and everything. Now, going back to what we were talking about, it would not be going back to talking about Dudes and Belts with the sub perk and Team Joe with the game shows. It would not be a Dylan and Deathdrop stream without a few trivia questions. Because I have here in my hand the Ultimate Trivia Pursuit question and answer book. I did this with Maki a couple weeks ago. I'm going to give you one Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm going to give you one question each in each of the 6 categories from the original Trivial Pursuit game, because those are the categories represented in this book. And we'll see how well you do. There's no multiple choice, so good luck. The answer is 42. Right. First question. This is in geography. What Greek goddess of love and beauty is said to have been born in Cyprus or Cyprus?
Wait, what?
Go back. What Greek goddess of love and beauty is said to have been born in Cyprus?
Is that Athena?
Yeah. Greek goddess of love and beauty.
Yeah, I was thinking that was right around where Mr. Fourth Row was going with it.
So you're thinking the same way Mr. Fourth Row's thinking, huh?
I think so, yeah.
Aphrodite or Venus? Yes, that's right. You're 1 for 1 so far. Let's see. No.
How's that geography?
I don't know, because I guess it mentioned Cyprus. I don't know. Anyway.
That's false advertising right there, folks.
Don't blame me.
That's Greek mythology, not geography.
Don't blame me. Blame the frickin' creators of the darn Trivia Pursuit game. Anyway. This is an entertainment, by the way. What 1990 blockbuster movie was based on the book Wise Guy?
Oh God. That was the year I was born. How the hell am I supposed to know that one? Wise Guy.
Yep.
1990. Is it a comedy?
That I can't tell you. I wouldn't. There are no clues in Trivial Pursuit, Johnny.
I'm gonna take a guess. My cousin Vinny.
No, it was Goodfellas.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. Under history. Find a good one for you. I'm trying to find an easy one for you. What is the
You're not really helping me out here with no multiple choice.
Well, Trivial Pursuit wasn't designed with multiple choices in mind. Trust me.
Oh, I know.
I wish, but that's not the case. What is the tallest building in the United States?
This is a trick one. I feel it's a trick one. I'm probably going to get it wrong. Because I'm thinking of another one too. I'm going to go with the Empire State Building.
Nope. What was the other one you were thinking of?
The Seattle Tower.
You mean the Space Needle? No, it was actually the Willis Tower, aka the Sears Tower, in Chicago.
Oh fuck!
Again, if that's inaccurate, don't blame me. Blame the writers of this book. Anyway, this should be an easy one for you, Johnny. Arts and literature. What?
That is not even close to being an easy one. Where's the sports? I'm waiting for that one. That's going to be an easier one.
That's the last category.
Oh, God damn it.
That's always the last category on a Trivial Pursuit card. Arts and literature. This should be an easy one. How much does Lucy charge for psychiatric help in the Peanuts cartoon strip? That should be an easy one.
Who the hell is Lucy?
Lucy Van Pelt. Linus's sister.
I didn't watch those cartoons when I was a kid, Hunter.
Oh, you've missed you haven't lived until you've seen a Peanuts holiday special. Or actually, me and Mom are going to watch the Great Pumpkin next week.
We're talking about Charlie Brown?
Yeah, that one. Bet Peanuts.
Oh. What was the question again?
How much does Lucy charge for psychiatric help in the Peanuts cartoon strip?
Isn't it like 5 or 10 cents?
5 cents. Yeah,
I was
5
close.
cents. We'll give it to you.
Sweet.
Okay. Science and nature. What three-letter word means the smallest piece of information used by a computer?
What?
What three-letter word means the smallest piece of information used by a computer?
I ain't got the slightest idea.
Bit. B-I-T. Simply a bit. 8-bit, 16-bit, that sort of thing. All right, here's the category you were waiting for, Johnny. Sports and leisure. This is the one that you were waiting on. All right. What New York Yankee, known... I know it's a Yankees question, but it is a baseball question, so don't attack me. Don't come out and start clotheslining me. What New York Yankee, known for swinging at bad balls, nevertheless had the most career World Series at-bats and hits? What New York Yankee had the most career World Series at-bats and hits? As of the time of this writing, it may have changed.
What year was that Trivial Pursuit?
It was 2010. So it might have changed, but I don't know.
No, I don't think it changed. Repeat the question one more time and I'll give you my answer. I got two players off the top of my head.
What New York Yankee, known for swinging at bad balls, nevertheless had the most career World Series at-bats and hits?
That'd be Mr. October, right? Reggie Jackson?
Yogi Berra.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I think you got like 3 out of 6, so that's not too bad.
No, I think I got 1 out of 6, let's be honest. Oh, no, 2 out of 6.
2 out of 6. Yeah, 2, 3, who's counting? But hey, I think that's a perfect way to end tonight's show. We're just about...
You couldn't even give me a Red Sox question, for God's sake. You had to go with the Yankee question.
Well, I can find a Red Sox question before we go. Let me see if I can find one.
You don't have to, I'm just saying.
Well, I'll tell you what. We'll probably do that on the next show. Because I think that's a perfect... Because we usually end the shows... You usually end Dudes and Belts with me coming in with trivia. Team Joe with the game shows. I think that's a perfect way to end our show.
That makes sense.
Before we go, Johnny, yeah. I'm gonna say this here and now. If you don't want to do it, that's perfectly okay. But when Mahky can't be here, would you like to become my permanent guest host on this show?
I'm gonna get back to you on that one.
All right, because you made the offer to come on this week, so, and you did
correct, because I knew there was a possibility that I wasn't going to be recording, and I'm actually glad that I did, because I actually made the phone call to the doctor today because it got a little bit worse. But
wait a minute, hold on, Mr. Fourthroat's got a question. What was the Red Sox name from 1901 to 1907? Sorry to interrupt you there.
Fuck me. I was just talking about this too last week.
You answer that. I have to take a code yellow real quick. I won't be long. You answer that and I'll get back to you here in just a second. I apologize, everyone. Where's my thing here?
1907, that's when they were winning the championships. Before 1918. 1918 was the last one before 2004. right around the time frame where Ruth was around as well. That nickname. Oh, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Maki was saying something about it last week too. Nah, I gotta look it up. I will cheat. This is gonna drive me nuts, and I'm not gonna stop thinking about it until I figure it out. This is my keyboard. Yeah, that's not it though. All right, I need to put years in. That's right.
Sorry about that. Almost made it through the entire show without having to take a code yellow. How's it going over there trying to figure out the answer?
We were talking about it. I think it was Marky that brought it up last week, and it was stupid. But they were technically called the Stockings.
Oh, the Stockings. Well,
Technically, yeah.
That's a silly name for a.
And that was in 1903.
Yeah.
There was a question that I don't know why Marky came up with the question or came up with the topic to begin with. I think it was somebody at his bowling alley was a out of state guy and wanted to know information about the Red Sox because he was talking about going to a Red Sox game. I think he was in Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
And he came up to visit family, and for some reason they had a conversation about sports scene around here, and he was just asking Marky all these different kinds of questions, and then I think the guy asked him roughly around like, so what? Like it mainly involved Babe Ruth when he was with the Red Sox before he got traded in that infamous cast deal. The Yankees, which started the curse.
The curse of the Bambino, right?
Yes, and I guess that came up in discussion. So if Marky was here, he would have actually known that.
Yeah, he couldn't be here, but I'm sure with his knowledge of Red Sox trivia, he probably would have known it.
Austin's first series win, I believe, was 1901.
1901. Wow. Obviously, I didn't know that.
I will double check that and fact check.
Yes.
1903. I'm sorry, I was off by a couple years.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't go over. It's almost like The Price is Right. You didn't go over.
No, they had one of the first titles. In that little span that the MLB came about. For people who actually want to know, Red Sox have 9 world championships together. 1903, and then didn't win one until 1912, but they went 1912, 1915, 1916, 1980, 1918. So they went a good solid 4 or 5 year span of winning championship, like, I don't know, 4 out of the last 6 years, starting in 1912. And then didn't win one until 2004.
Jeez, that's a drought.
Yeah, so from 1918 to 2004 was the last time before they won it in 2004.
86 years.
86 years, and that World Series run will never be duplicated.
Very likely never will.
Because they swept the Angels. And then went the infamous 7-game series when they were down 3-0 and came back to win in the championship series against the Yankees. And then swept the Cardinals in the series.
Unbelievable.
I think they've,
Unbelievable.
to be honest with you, ever since 2004, every single time the Red Sox were in the series, with the exception of 2018, which was their last one, they swept the World Series. They swept in 04, they swept in 07, and I believe they swept in 13 against Colorado. No. 13 was the Cardinals again, I think. Colorado was 2007. That was when the Rockies had their big run. And they got swept by us.
Wow.
Sorry, RP.
Remind me to add all of the dudes to my pub trivia team. I've already got Mahky on my future pub trivia team. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll actually give you a list of the past 20 years. Because ever since the Red Sox won in 2004, they've been deeming us title town. It actually technically started in 2001. 2001, 2003, and 2004 were the Patriots. They won the Super Bowls in those years, and then the Red Sox won in 2004. And then the Patriots won again in 2000. Oh, crap. Hold up. I'm going to lose track of dates because football is tough because they technically do the Super Bowl like a year after.
Johnny going to work over there.
Yeah, I always do. As soon as we start talking about sports. All right, where's the list? Right here. It won't let me click more items. Okay. Patriots winning in 2001. Patriots winning in 2003. And then the Red Sox and the Patriots won in 2004. And the Red Sox win again in 07. And then the Boston Celtics wins in 08. And then your Boston Bruins wins in 2011. Red Sox wins in 13. Patriots win in 14. Patriots win in 16. Red Sox win in 18. They have... Oh, no. Okay, so the Red Sox and Patriots both won in 2018.
Fourth row says he wonders if one city held all major sports titles at one time. So MLB, NBA, NHL, NFL.
We've only had two at once, and we've done that a couple times. I don't think, to my knowledge, I've heard of any sports team. I'll double check.
That's actually a good question, Mr. Forthrow. That's actually a good question.
Won all four sports teams. This might include college too, because some states have good college towns.
This is actually a very interesting query from Mr. Fourth Row. He was thinking the major four, says Mr. Fourth Row.
With the major four, 2001, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026, 2027, 2028, 2029, 2030, 2031, 2032, 2033, 2034, 2035, 2036, 2037, 2038, 2039, 2040, 2041, 2042, 2043, 2044, 2045, 2046, 2047, 2048, 2049, 2050, 2051, 2052, 2053, 2054, 2055, 2056, 2057, 2058, 2059, 2060, 2061, 2062, 2063, 2064, 2065, 2066, 2067, 2068, 2069, 2070, 2071, 2072, 2073, 2074, 2075, 2076, 2077, 2078, 2079, 2080, 2081, 2082, 2083, 2084, 2085, 2086, 2087, 2088, 2089, 2090, 2091, 2092, 2093 It's looking like it's saying Los Angeles, but it's not saying in the same year. It's saying back to back.
Interesting.
Number of times winning multiple championships in one season. Okay, so yeah. LA did it. Oh, well, it doesn't give you. I don't think all four. I don't think all four has ever done it. It's just giving me multiple teams with multiple championships and not giving me the all four.
Ah.
Let's refine the search real quick just in case.
All right. That seems fair
Winning
enough.
all four major sports titles. I'm seeing nothing.
So no teams.
Nothing.
No teams have ever held all four of the major sports titles at one time. No city, anyway.
Yeah, so I believe multiple championships in a season. Okay, now I have a Excel sheet basically. We have two. All right, so if we're going just by multiple championships in one season, technically New York has that with 7.
Ooh, okay.
And then LA, and then Boston. Detroit actually has 2. And then Baltimore, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Tampa did it once.
This is almost like figuring out the point system over on Ignition, except it's a little bit easier since everything's been already laid out as far as championships.
Now, in terms of multiple championships involving other professional teams, this has like soccer and college football. Oh, no, I'm sorry, Canadian football.
Canadian football.
Which is basically the same, except the yardage is different, and I think they added, I think they have like an extra 20 yards on their field.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's still the same, actually.
Says that makes sense. Mr. Fourth Row says that makes sense.
Yeah, so no one city has ever had all 4 major titles. It doesn't even say 3. Put it that way. 2 has been the most from what I'm researching right now.
That's a feat so rare it's never happened. The Grand Slam of sports titles.
It'll never be beat.
Nope. Not to my knowledge. And not to anybody's knowledge.
It would take some very high-end coordination for that to happen.
Yes.
The Patriots are not going to do it this year. They currently all of a sudden have a quarterback controversy right now after tonight. So.
Oh boy.
But the Bruins are off to a great start. The Celtics are off to a great start.
Mm-hmm.
Red Sox will be better next year because they're going to be cleaning house.
Yeah. My Cubbies will get better next year. I don't know how my Knights are doing, but.
Oh, you guys are going to be going through a rebuilding process for a couple of years.
Yeah.
More than likely.
Nope, I'm
Did you end the stream?
I dropped frames.
You're back.
I dropped frames.
You're back.
That happens from time to time. I dropped the resolution down to 480p because I was thinking when I moved it up to 720, the problems got worse. They
Are you
did.
connected to your Wi-Fi?
Yeah, which is unfortunate because it's the only internet that we can afford. But oh well.
But do you have your? Are you connected via Ethernet?
No, we don't have that.
You don't have a cord?
Mm-mm. We don't even have like Comcast or Xfinity or anything like that. This is the cell internet is the only thing we can afford. Sucks, but that's
Jesus.
okay. Cubs had the fifth best record in the second half last season. Yeah, they'll get back to the World Series. It might take some time, but they'll get back there. They'll get back there. Took them 108 years to win. We're not gonna doubt the Cubs. All right.
Other than that, I think we can wrap it up now.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can. Now, before we always do this before we formally wrap up the show. We have to do our plugs, and I always let the co-host go first. So, Johnny, why don't you plug whatever it is you want to plug?
Well, you can follow me on all social media accounts: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Well, not YouTube specifically. That's a new name. But join Deathdrop on all the tags and names. You'll be able to follow me and be up to date on anything that's going on with myself in terms of the stream and dudes. You can also subscribe to the Dudes and Belts Wrestling Chatcast YouTube channel, which will be back active starting next week. And what else?
Well, there's
And just make sure that you guys are following twitch.tv/Johnny Deathdrop and twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro, because that's where you're gonna see me.
As a matter of fact, you'll see him tomorrow night because he'll be hosting Recharged with the Coastal Crusader and MahkyPinz. He's on 3 nights a week on Rocky Mountain Pro.
You forgot somebody.
Oh, that's right, Lucas. How could I forget? Lucas just joined you guys next week, last week.
Yep, he is a permanent addition to Recharge.
That's a blonde moment for me, everybody, and I rarely have those.
So you'll be seeing the voice of Ignition, Lucas Bradwell, with us every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time over there on twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro.
And then, of course, Thursday night is Reignited with you
and
it feels so good.
That really should be our theme song. It really should be.
If only it wasn't for DMCA. Well, anyway, that's Thursday nights at midnight. Both the Tuesday and the Thursday shows, those are at midnight, immediately following their respective shows. And then, of course, the main Chatcast, my favorite night of the week, Sunday night, the Dudes and Belts Wrestling Chatcast, approaching its third year. That's Sunday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Mountain.
Recharge will be on its second year that same month.
That's right. Congratulations on that. And of course, they start with the pre-recorded show at 9 and then transition over to the after hours, which that's always a lot of fun, especially when Triple I shows up at 10 o'clock, or approximately 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
It's been roughly around 10:30 the past couple of weeks.
10:30. Well, all right. And of course, you can follow me on all of the socials, the same name, Twitch, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram at HunterDylan95. I stream 6 nights a week. I finally have settled upon an actual solid schedule.
You gotta stick to it, though. You gotta stick to it.
I'm trying my darndest. Sometimes I can't do it when I'm not feeling 100%, but I'm trying. Sundays.
That's understandable.
Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Those are at midnight. Of course, the Monday show is Anything Goes. That's at 10:30, depending on whether or not Maki's here. If he's not here, we'll either not do the show, or in the case this week, and hopefully for the weeks to come when Maki can't be here, Johnny will be here, because let me tell you something, Johnny, you did incredible as a guest host tonight. You were incredible.
That's not my first rodeo.
Tuesday nights.
I've been doing this for about 3 years.
Tuesdays and Thursday nights I go live as soon as Johnny gets going with the outro to Dudes and Belts. That's when I go live and get going with all the chill stuff. I usually do board games those nights. Monopoly.
Which one?
Which one?
Night is that?
Which what?
Yeah. Is it Tuesday or Thursday?
Tuesday and Thursdays. That's immediately
And Thursday?
Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that when you guys go off, I transition right into the board games. We usually play Monopoly. I know that's not your favorite game. We won't talk about that. Scrabble.
Hate that game.
Scrabble, Trivial Pursuit, Clue. We do those sort of things on the Tuesday and Thursday nights because we have a lot of excitement with RMP. So it's a good time to kind of chillax with board games. Tuesdays, which is tomorrow night, that's my Yu-Gi-Oh night with the Great Hoff, Echo, and the crew. That's at 8 o'clock Eastern. Of course, that's of course charged and then recharged. And Fridays is Jackbox night. We didn't do it last week because OBS decided to be a pain in the rear end. We're going to try it again this Friday night at midnight with the Jackbox Party Pack 9, which we just recently got not too long ago. Just came out just a few days ago. So we're going to try that on Friday night. Should be a good time. Hopefully you get to join us, Johnny, because we always have a lot of fun playing Jackbox.
Friday nights are really tough.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah,
really
understandable.
Tough. I will say though that we will be back live on twitch.tv/Johnny Deathdrop this Saturday. I don't know what we're doing exactly yet.
Possibly.
We'll be doing.
Chances are it's Overwatch. Chances are it's Overwatch. Chances are.
Honestly, that's been between the crew. It's been either Destiny or Overwatch. I don't think we are planning on putting out any COD or any other game on the Twitch channel for at least a very good while. Everybody seems to be enjoying Destiny and Overwatch. So, and it's, especially with Overwatch, we have Rhea Rabbit playing, and we have Gemini playing with us, and all that stuff. So we're adding new people on top of it. So
yeah, it's always exciting. All right, I think because normally I get off around 2 or 2:30. I think we're going to go ahead and find somebody to raid. Normally I would be going into games, but we did this at a special time, so we're going to go ahead.
I will say this because you guys do it to me every time. Yaden's live.
Yaden is on. All right, let's go right over there. Let's give Yaden RMP. You know what, Johnny? I'm going to let you do the honors and shout him out. You're a mod. You're a mod. Oh wait, no, there he is. Nope, wait a minute. Nope, never mind. Sin got it. Sin is on.
We have collectively a great group of mods.
See,
with the RMP faithful.
Centaura Ravenfeather has been the #1 mod ever since I started doing this. She is on the button. Johnny, it has been a great pleasure hosting with you. This has been a dream come true. Thank you, Johnny. You are incredible. If I don't
stop it, you're making me blush.
Of course, as you know, the episode's going to go up on YouTube. So past episodes are going to be right here in a playlist. So if you want to check out past episodes, they're right there. The episode should be.
I will make a suggestion.
Yes.
I will make a suggestion because this now kind of went into 2 separate VODs. Just make sure you combine the VODs.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I just put them in the video editor and splice them. I will be back hopefully next Monday night. If I'll obviously be back next Monday night in costume because Monday night's Halloween. If Mahky can't be here, hopefully I'll be seeing Johnny. Hopefully I'll be seeing Mahky over here, but if not, hopefully I'll be seeing Johnny over here because this was a blast.
It's gonna be tough because I'm gonna be back editing. It really depends on timing and when I get everything done.
Alrighty, well.
I wouldn't honestly. He might be doing something with kids.
Yeah.
For Halloween.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that he wouldn't hop on and do it because it is later on at night, but I would just double check with him.
All right. That's what I always do. I always check with him throughout the week to make sure he's good. Johnny, thanks so much for offering to pitch hit. Hopefully, if we have another situation like this, hopefully I'll get to see you again. And hopefully we can get you on as a permanent guest co-host if things turn out properly. Thank you.
I'll let you know how everything goes. We'll just play it by ear. I'll pop on every now and then for now.
Johnny, you have been absolutely incredible. Go support Dudes and Belts. Go support Johnny Deathdrop. I'm going to stop jibber-jabbering. Johnny, say goodbye to the Discord. Say goodbye to the Twitch chat.
Later, Twitch chat.
We're going to go ahead and raid our friend, the CEO of... Oh, I almost put the wrong thing in there. We are going to raid the CEO of Rocky Mountain Pro, Mercury
His
Yaden.
life too, so...
Yeah, well, I've already started the raid, so... Don't
we'll
worry.
be seeing him tomorrow, folks. Don't worry.
Don't worry.
Seeing Hoff tomorrow.
Yeah, you'll see Hoff with me tomorrow, so it's all good. Where's my stream ending screen? There it is. We thank you for joining us tonight for the Anything Goes vodcast. We'll hopefully see you next week. If not next week, we'll see you the week after. For Johnny Deathdrop and myself, you know what? I'm gonna let Johnny do it. I'm gonna let Johnny do the outro for once. I'm not gonna do it. Hey, you're the guest. I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna let you do it.
Then I'll just go with my old outro. For all of us here on the Anything Goes vodcast, as always, folks, stay safe, stay classy, and we'll see you on the next one.
Good job, Johnny. All right, let's raid Yaden in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See you tomorrow night.